John had always believed that life was predictable and comfort was safe. Every morning, he woke up at exactly 7 a.m., brewed the same coffee, and sat at his desk, staring at spreadsheets that felt like invisible chains. On the outside, he had stability, a decent job, a comfortable apartment, and friends who admired his calm, responsible life. But inside, a storm raged on unspoken frustration that whispered, "This is not what you are meant for." He remembered his college dreams, vividly dreams of traveling, writing, creating, yet somehow, the years had slipped by while he convinced himself that postponing those ambitions was responsible adulthood. Deep down, he knew he was trapped behind an invisible wall, one that wasn't made of bricks or bars, but of fear, routine, and self-doubt. Every day, he inched closer to accepting a life that was safe but hollow. It was a rainy Tuesday when the invisible wall started to crack. John met an old friend, Rachel, for lunch. She had quit her corporate job years ago to start a small bakery, and her eyes sparkled with a joy he had forgotten existed. Listening to her stories, John realized that comfort had been a cage, not a sanctuary. He asked himself, if she can leap, why can't I? The question lingered, heavier than the raindrops on the restaurant window. That night, John lay awake, staring at the ceiling. The thought of taking the first step terrified him, yet the alternative continuing in his monotonous routine felt like slow death. He made a small decision. He would dedicate 1 hour every day to something that scared him. Not a vague ambition, but a concrete action. He dusted off his old journal, filled with half-written stories and ideas, and promised to write for 1 hour each evening. Days turned into weeks. Every evening, John battled against exhaustion, temptation to give up, and the voice inside him saying, "What's the point?" But with every paragraph written, he felt the invisible wall weakening. The hour became sacred, a silent rebellion against the life that had held him captive. His stories began to take shape, and for the first time in years, he felt alive, purposeful. One evening, he received an unexpected email. A small publishing company had stumbled upon his blog and wanted to see more of his writing. John's heart raced. He realized that this opportunity had nothing to do with luck. It was the courage to push past his comfort zone that had created the chance. He was still cautious, still uncertain, but the invisible wall that once loomed over him no longer felt unbreakable. The months that followed were transformative. John started attending workshops, meeting other writers, and gradually reducing the hours spent in his safe but unfulfilling job. Each step felt like peeling away layers of fear. He learned that comfort is deceptive diaphoist security while stealing your potential. And with every small risk, the horizon expanded, revealing dreams he had buried long ago. One evening, sitting by the window with his first published story in hand, John smiled. The invisible wall had not vanished overnight, but by challenging it daily, by making deliberate choices, he had escaped its grip. The comfort that once suffocated him had been replaced with purpose, excitement, and a reminder. Life belongs to those willing to face discomfort. John's journey taught him something essential. The wall exists for everyone. It is quiet, patient, and relentless, but it is not invincible. Every small action against it, every hour dedicated to growth, creates a crack. And once the cracks multiply, the wall collapses, and on the other side lies the life you were meant to live.